Happy Monday, friends! Welcome back to another episode of the Paradigm Shift Parenting Podcast. I want to send a huge thank you to everyone who listened to the introductory episode and subscribed. I received a lot of really great messages and words of encouragement. So I'm still just really excited to be making this form of content and just sending it out into the world. I have a feeling that the first few weeks might be a little bit shaky as I kind of just figure everything out and develop a schedule to create and record and release the episodes. But you know what? I'm not too worried about it. We're going to figure it out together, you guys. I might record with a baby on my lap a few times. You might hear a dog bark once or twice. I don't know. But I do know that I'm just going to keep showing up and doing my part to make it happen. So before we get into it, if you saw my stories on Instagram yesterday, then you'll remember that I spoke really quickly about this episode and I mentioned kind of like a huge synchronicity about it. So I'm just going to share that again for anybody who missed it. So I actually had a different episode set and ready to be the first kind of official upload for the podcast. And 2 days ago, I decided really suddenly to change it and to make the episode about the topic of intention. So last night I recorded about 10 or 15 minutes of the episode. And then when I listened back to it, I felt like it was missing something, but I wasn't really sure what. Now, normally the old me, I would have thought like, nah, it's good enough. I'm just going to keep it as it is. It's fine. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to follow that feeling. And I bet the missing piece or the big part, the big feeling that's missing from the episode will come to me. So I deleted everything that I recorded, which is crazy to me because I'm kind of an information hoarder. I keep everything. So it was kind of just like this tiny leap of faith. Anyways, the next day we went to church and wouldn't you know it, the service was about intention and living a life with intention. Now, personally, I don't really think that coincidences are these mundane nothings that happen for no reason. So I took it as a little bit of a sign or a wink, a little nudge from the universe that this was just kind of the right episode to start with. So I just love when those things happen and I wanted to share it again. Anyways, let's move on. So my kind of tagline on Instagram and my website is personal evolution, intentional living. Today, I want to spend some time unpacking what that means. Personal evolution is pretty straightforward. Evolution is the gradual development of something, right? So of course, personal evolution is your own individual unfolding. Personal evolution, personal development, we're all pretty familiar with what those are. I'm not really going to spend any time explaining it. But intentional living, what is that? Why does it matter? And what are some baby steps that you can take to bring intention to your daily life? So intentional means with purpose, right? It's deliberate, it's conscious, it's doing something for a specific reason. Intentional living then is the deliberate attempt to live in alignment with your individual core values and beliefs, right? That's kind of like the broad, generic definition for me. But intentional living, more importantly, is really the act of making sure that your short-term actions and habits align with your long-term vision for what you want from your life. We all have a kind of default setting. We all have default unconscious sets of patterns and beliefs and behaviors that we can play out, live by, and participate in regularly without like giving it a second thought. It's very easy to exist in your default way of life because we're creatures of habit. We tend to do the same things we've always done in the same way we always do them because unless something brings you like great pain or discomfort, then you don't have to consider whether or not you need to change a belief or a behavior. The point is that it's dangerously easy to drift through life on autopilot. We all have the capacity to do it. But we also all have a vision for our lives. We have things that we want to do. We have a vision for how we want our family to feel, how we want to behave as parents, how we want our marriage to feel, how we want our homes to look. You may have a vision for your career or your education or your health. But the reality is our actions, our daily actions, might not reflect that vision. So, to live with intention, you have to ask yourself why you're doing the things that you do. You have to really ask yourself daily, does this align with the life that I'm trying to create? Does this reflect the type of lifestyle that I want? It's a constant daily communication with yourself. It's paying attention to what works for you and what doesn't. Now, maybe you don't have a specific vision for your life. Maybe you don't yet have career goals or educational or fitness goals. That is okay. You don't need to have your life figured out because you can still be intentional about the direction of your life without being very invested in a final destination or an end goal. Because remember, the broad definition of intentional living is to live in alignment with your core beliefs and values. So, start by doing the things that you know you should be doing. Maybe you're a Christian and living intentionally for you means taking time to read the Bible daily. Maybe you're spiritual, and to be more aligned with that, you know that you need to meditate more or use your tarot deck more, whatever it is for you. Whatever it is, living intentionally is really just making small decisions repeatedly that help you create the life that you want. To live with intention is to take responsibility for your life, to remember that you have choices in how you behave. You have choices in how you respond to life, how you respond to your loved ones. So today, I encourage you to take a minute and think about your core values. What are your core values? What are your core beliefs? What do you want from life? How do you want your life to feel? What does your ideal day look like? Then I want you to ask yourself, what is one little thing that I can do today that'll just point me towards that life that I want? Then I want you to do that one little thing, because I really, really believe that life is only little things. Every big part of life is the culmination of 100 little things, 100 little decisions, 100 little actions. Y'all, it's the little things that create big changes. So today, I hope that you can check in with yourself. Make sure that you're living with intention, or at least make the decision to start living intentionally. Because like I always say, you deserve to live a life you love. Thank you for listening, friends, and I will see you in the next episode.